My name is Christian, and this is my Creative Corner. Today, let's talk about technique and creating your own style. But before we get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Christian Davon Ellison, and I am an artist. I study at Vance Grambling Community College. I am getting my associates in fine arts, and after I get my associate in fine arts, I will go to Appalachian State and study to get my master's in illustration and design. Today I want to talk about art because it's the only other thing I know, but also how to make your own style. Many young artists these days are confused and don't understand how to get started with, should I be a realistic artist or should I be a cartoonist? Stuff like that. They don't understand where to start, where to go, or what they like. And I have some simple steps here today to teach you how to find your own style, how to do your own things, and how to make your own art. So the first step of anything of being an artist is research. Research the work you like. Research artists, research the artists you want to do. Like for me example, I research artists like Drawing Waffles, a cartoonist artist. She's a cartoonist artist. She's really well at what she does. I research a lot of realistic painters and realistic drawers because I love their composition with colors. I look at a lot of digital art, and it helps me to understand what I like. And like, say if someone makes a nose a certain way, if I like that nose, you take that nose. Art is nothing but a community that shares. And the only thing I will say, do not trace someone else's work and steal their work because it's not your art. Your art is influenced by the things that are around you. So the best thing to do is study art, is study other artists, because other artists have different techniques and have different ways of how you see the world and can help you fix things that you never thought you could do with your own art. The next step I will tell any artist is studying anatomy, especially if you're going to do portrait drawings, portrait paintings, anything with the word portrait. Because as an artist, you will always need something with anatomy. For example, today this is my painting. This is Joe. He works at 7-Eleven and he's eating a sandwich. Joe will not look right if he didn't have good proportions. It can distract the artist, especially if you're trying to do a certain thing. A good example of this is one of my other paintings, my ugly one. This guy. Proportions are not right. His head is too big. There's no neck. The shoulders are way too big. He's weird looking. I don't like this painting. It's horrible. It's very, very horrible. But the best way to study anatomy, in my eyes, is looking at a lot of reference poses or looking at stock photos of like a person in a dress and looking at how the hand moves and the body moves and how the face do this or this or this or this. Because as human beings, we're very expressive. The human body is weird. And for an artist, the best thing to do is to study your subject you're looking at. It doesn't even have to work with your style you're doing yet. This is about learning the basics. And after you study something, it's time to break it down. When you're an artist, you have to break down figures. I didn't just draw him like this. A basic sketch for any artist at any time will mostly look like this. Oh, gotta make you see it. See that? This is me breaking down people into shapes. Like, I can tell you how I broke down this guy up here. Magic Hippie Man. First, I wouldn't add any of the color. I'll do him like her. Simple. His head, to me, looks like a circle. So I will draw a circle. And then I will add the basics of the shape. As for me, most men's shoulders and chest area are more likely a triangle shape. And you'll break this down pretty easily. Another good way of helping people to break things down is like taking a reference photo of a real human being and looking at it and print it off, then sketching on top of it and putting shapes on there. When you're able to break down the human body into shapes, it's much easier for an artist to draw something bigger or able to make concepts art much better because you're able to break it down. You're able to break it down and you're able to repeat this process the more practice that you do. And as an artist looking for your style, breaking it down is the best way. So, say you did your anatomy, your study of different artists, and breaking down the human body into shapes. Your next thing to do is studying color. Color is a complicated and weird thing, and many people want to just paint, which is not possible. You have to know what you're doing. For me, anyone who wants to paint with color first or do color first needs to study it. And when I mean study it, not just doing these, but doing this, learning your values. I use a base mixture of black Indian ink and 5 concentrated jars of water and black Indian ink. This will teach you how to study the values of light and darkness. The best way to study your light and values on light and darkness as an artist or anyone who's trying to find your style is you're able to see where the light is coming from. What places on the face have to be darker? What places in the clothes have to be darker? When you're studying this, this is the best way to do it before you move to color. And when you're moving to color, do a basic of one color. This is a watercolor study I did. This is a watercolor study I did to help find my style as an artist. You see, I only use one color, and I do a lot of these as an artist. When you're going to art classes, your teacher will tell you do a single color study. And this is where the learning of value and shades and values and lights help with your color theory. And second thing, building SWOT charts. Building SWOT charts, building a color wheel, and understanding what colors go together. Because as an artist, you need to know what colors are stronger. Like you put your orange and blue together because they're contrasting. They work really well to each other. They're complementary. They're best friends. As that color will help out. Next thing you will do as the next step for an artist when they're looking for their style, after you've done all the research on different type of artists, after you study your anatomy a little bit more, after you break shapes down into the body, after you start thinking about value and color theory, is start adding your features and start looking at people. When you're doing, especially if you're doing like illustration art, it's much more of can you make a real person cartoony or something like that. It's more like you're studying the world around you in your own eyes. When you're finding your own style in art, you have to try. You have to try different things. As an artist, I took art very seriously a year ago, and I found my style a year ago. As an artist, I was trying to be realistic, and it did not work. And for any new artist, I would tell them just try. You just try out. After you've done all the basic stuff of breaking things down and learning anatomy, learning how studying the artists you like, learning color theory, you will find out your process of learning your own style. Because my style doesn't fit everyone else. Some people love realistic portraits, as some people love the basics of cartoony style like this. Also, also during this time when you're just trying your own style, while you're trying these different styles out, pick up the different techniques. Like from realism, I learned shading really, really well because that's a big part of realism. I learned the darker parts of the face. And as an artist, and as a cartoon artist, I learned how to make very expressive faces. And color theory helped me out because I'm able to know what color to put it with. And my final thing is, as an artist, try different materials. Every artist does not use the same thing. Some like paint, some like markers, some like watercolor, some like all. The biggest thing about finding your own style is you're going to fail sometimes. You're not going to understand what you're doing. And the best thing as an artist is to accept that failure and just do it again. Continually do these steps. You will find your style as an artist. So, that's my little 2 cents about how to find your style. It's stuff I did to find my own style. And I hope all of you have an amazing day. And yeah.